Welcome to the Austin Method, where we help you develop the skills of square dancing. Square dancing as a topic is big. This program is divided into the individual videos covering the calls, and then there are the general information videos. This video is part of the general information videos. You can think of them as reference material. Don't think of them as prerequisites. Some of them are longer and you're wanting to dance, so you may not want to watch from beginning to end. If you've got time, it's well worth the watch, but if you're in a hurry, go ahead and move on to learning the calls. There are two videos I would think of as prerequisites. That's the learning and practice video. That gives you tips and tricks and helps you organize your learning. It'll give you the most efficient way to maximize your learning of the skills of square dancing. The second one, it's the site walkthrough, and it'll show you how to navigate this website, how to find the pieces and parts you may be looking for. Those two are prerequisites. Otherwise, if you want to move on to the skills of square dancing, go ahead. But if you got the time, this is some great material. If you don't, make sure you come back as you get further into it. Come back to these materials and go over them. Even if you go through them at the beginning, come back to them, because as you gain vocabulary, you will get more from it in a second viewing as you get further along. So without any further ado, let's get to the video. All right, we're going to show square dancing formations here. And the reason you need to know formations is because of identifiers. When we're dancing, the caller needs to be able to identify certain subsets of dancers to perform calls. To do that, he will use identifiers, and those identifiers rely on your position within a formation. So you need to know formations. First, we're going to talk about terminations. Terminations is the animating tool that we use to demonstrate. And if you've never seen it before, this is to show you how that animator represents dancers. So I like to think of those bumps on the front as baseball cap brims, and that shows the direction that they're facing. The boy dancer is the square, and the girl dancers are circles. Again, boy and girl is not about the gender of the dancer, it's about the position of the dancer within the square. So it can be girl, but one has to decide they're dancing the boy part, one has to decide they're dancing the girl part. There's always a boy part and a girl part. So the first formation, well, the simplest formation or identifier is a dancer. But until you put two dancers together, you don't really have a formation. Two dancers together are facing the same way is a couple. So we have normal couples, which are couples where the boy is on the left and the girl is on the right. We have half sashayed couples, which is where the girl is on the left, the boy is on the right. And it doesn't matter what direction they're facing, it's relative to themselves. So notice this couple is facing a side wall, the other couples here are all facing head walls. And then we can also have same-sex couples where the caller has put two boys together or two girls together. Boy dancers, girl dancers. I'm not going to make that distinction as we go further in the difference between a boy and a boy dancer, but for now we'll make that distinction. And then when it comes to formations with couples, when you put two couples together, they can actually have their own formation. So in this case, we have what's known as facing couples. Also, in couples, we've already seen facing couples, but we can also have back-to-back couples, which are these couples here. Notice that they are also half sashayed. And here we have tandem couples, where one couple is following another couple. So we have back-to-back couples, facing couples, and tandem couples. When we first square up, at the beginning of every tip, and hopefully at the end of every tip, we end up in a square. It's part of why it's called square dancing. A square has 4 sides, much as the box that it looks like they form. Another word for this is being squared up. So if the caller says, let's get squared up, he means form squares. The couples in the square are numbered. So the caller will be on a stage or maybe just on the floor, but the caller will always be on a wall. All the couples that have their back to the caller are couples number 1. All the couples that to the right counterclockwise are numbered from there. So we have 2, 3, and 4. And then we have heads and sides. So the caller's wall is a head wall. The wall the caller is facing is a head wall, and the other 2 are sides. Lines. So these are simple lines in that everybody is facing the same way. It's 4 people who are shoulder to shoulder. And as you can see, they're made up of couples. So here we have normal couples making up the line, so it's a normal line. Here we have half sashayed couples, so it's a half sashayed line. Here we have girl, boy, boy, girl lines, and that are made up of both normal couple and a half sashayed couple. In this case, this is the normal couple, and this is the half sashayed couple. Again, it doesn't matter what direction they're facing. And then we have girl, girl, boy, boy lines, which are made up of same-sex couples. So again, with simple lines, we have normal and half sashayed. These are all normal lines. And we have parallel lines. So a line doesn't necessarily stand by itself. Sometimes a line is parallel to another line and thus made up of smaller sets of facing couples or back-to-back couples if the lines are facing out. So lines can be facing in or facing out. Two-face lines. So these are parallel two-face lines. Two-face lines have a handedness. So in this case, the center hands joined are the left hands, and in this case, the center hands joined are the right hands. So this is a left hand two-face line. This is a right hand two-face line. And as with most lines, you can have different arrangements. You can have normal couples, half sashayed couples, boy, boy, girl, girl. But notice the couples are tandem in a two-face line. One couple's facing in, and the other couple is facing out. Mini waves. So when two dancers are together and they're facing opposite directions, they have what are known as mini waves. Where's the wave, you say? Well, let's see if we can show you. If you were to follow the dancer's arms, remember the baseball cap is the direction they're facing. So his left arm is here. You follow it around through his shoulders, through their hand hold, around the back of her shoulders, and you can kind of see a wave there. They're right-handed and left-handed. These dancers are holding right hands. These dancers are holding left hands. So you have a right-hand mini wave or a left-hand mini wave. A box. A box is two not connected mini waves. So you can see that one dancer is facing in, tandem to another dancer facing out, and they're in mini waves. The thing to know about mini waves, or rather boxes, is that they are formed with mini waves. A box is formed with mini waves. Although this is a box-like structure, it is not technically a box formation. Will it be on the test? No, but it's useful to know. Boxes have handedness because they're made up of mini waves, which also have handedness. So this box is a right-hand box, and this box is a left-hand box. Ocean waves. Ocean waves are connected mini waves. In this case, you can see a mini wave here and a mini wave here, and they are connected in the middle. They have a handedness, and that handedness is based upon the handedness of the mini waves. So this is a right-handed ocean wave. This is a left-handed ocean wave because the dancers are connected in their mini waves by left hands. A ocean wave is a type of a line, and the way you can recognize a type of line, obviously, is, well, the dancers are in a line, but also because there are centers and ends to the line. Columns. Columns are disconnected mini waves. So you can see the mini waves. These are right-handed mini waves. These are left-handed mini waves. But they're also constructed of two boxes. Now remember, boxes are disconnected mini waves. So these are just two boxes in tandem to each other, which forms the columns. Here's a column. Here's a column. They are right-handed and left-handed, given based on the mini wave that forms them. Right, the next few calls are based upon the call that either gets you to them or the call that gets you out of them. In this case, it's the call that gets you out of it. This is called an 8-chain through. There's a call called 8-chain through, but they are disconnected facing couples. So you have facing couples here and facing couples here. With formations like this, you also have center couples and outside couples. Double pass-through. Double pass-through are disconnected tandem couples. So one couple following another is tandem. Here's another set of tandem couples. And they're facing the center of the square. So here's the center of the square. Everybody is facing it. And there are centers, center couples and outside couples. There's a rule called only if you can. So if a call were given that's performed by facing couples, only the centers can do something given to facing couples. So that's the only if you can rule. Completed double pass through. So if we were to look at this and we saw everybody pass through, they would end up in a formation that looks like this, a completed double pass through, which is disconnected tandem couples or two sets of tandem couples. So here's one, here's the other, who are facing out of the square. And again, we have centers and outside couples. Trade by is made of two sets of back-to-back couples that are not connected. So here's one set of back-to-back couples. Here's another set of back-to-back couples. Naturally, one couple will be facing out of the square, and the other couple will be facing in. You will have center couples and outside couples. Thank you for visiting the Austin Method. We hope to see you on the dance floor soon.